We'll be on a boat on Monday because we're both off together. But
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But for us and everyone else, it's going to be in the water or kind of anywhere outdoors. You know, what's the forecast going to look like for the 4th of July?
Well, first, Angela, you're going to want to have your Local 3 app on hand because there are going to be some storms floating around, and you're going to be able to check the radar and see where those storms are going to be floating through this weekend. But as we take a look at the radar this morning, things are quiet. However, this morning we had a new tropical storm develop just northeast of Charleston. That's going to move away from us, but if you are heading to North or South Carolina, even down into Georgia or Florida along the East Coast, there will be some rip currents and pretty heavy rain battering portions of the Carolinas, as well as tropical storm conditions. Now again, fortunately this is moving away from us, so we're not going to have any issues here locally. But again, if you are traveling out, this is going to kind of hug the Carolina coastline over the next couple of days, moving very slowly. So going to kind of be relatively nasty from about Myrtle Beach up into the Outer Banks through Monday. But again, for our conditions here in the Tennessee Valley, we're going to stay dry this morning. It is very mild and muggy. Temperatures generally in the mid 70s across the region, topping out in the 90s across the valley later on today. 84 in Altamont. So some of the higher elevations, it's going to be a little bit cooler. But again, when you add in the humidity, it's going to be very warm and muggy out there as we go throughout your Saturday. And here's a look over downtown Chattanooga using our Holiday Inn cam. Some clouds passing through this morning. The sun is up. It's a great morning to get out, maybe have a cup of coffee on the balcony of your porch or apartment, wherever you may live, because it's just going to get warmer and very uncomfortable as we go through the rest of your day. Those heat index values potentially pushing pretty close to the triple-digit mark as we go into your afternoon. So again, walk in the park this morning. By the afternoon, that's when we'll be tracking out a couple of those storms. Temperatures will climb into the lower 90s. And as we take a look at your futurecast, again, clouds throughout the morning. And then by the afternoon, notice some of those bubble up showers start to form. Again, very hit or miss. But the thing is, there's not a lot of motion in the upper atmosphere, which means these storms are going to be fairly stationary. So if you get a storm that kind of pops up right over your home, there is the potential for locally heavy rain and maybe even some minor flash flooding, especially in those low-lying areas. And again, it's one of those days very similar to what we had on Friday. Some may see some very heavy rain. Some may stay dry throughout the remainder of Saturday. That's certainly going to be a possibility. As we go into the 10 o'clock hour, some of those firework displays get going. Still could be a couple of showers out there, but for the most part, we're going to start to dry out pretty quickly around sunset. So perfect for any of those displays. And as for futurecast rainfall, again, it is going to be highly variable. A lot of communities probably going to see nothing today, but there could be, quick inch or two in some of those heavier downpours that form a little bit later on this afternoon. And we could use the rain. It's been very dry over the last month and a half. In fact, we have some moderate drought conditions showing up across North Georgia, and that kind of tannish color you see near Blue Ridge down into Dalton, and the rest of the area in abnormally dry conditions. So again, any rain that we receive over the next couple of days is going to be very beneficial to our gardens, our yards, because that grass is starting to dry out and get a little crunchy out there. So rain is certainly going to be a good thing over the next couple of days, and temperatures also going to be on the climb. We're talking mid 90s moving into next week, and with the mid 90s and the humidity, that means heat index values throughout next week going to be right at 100 degrees because again, the humidity, it's not going anywhere probably for the rest of summer. Those dew points going to be in the mid 70s through next weekend. But as for today, hot, muggy, scattered showers and storms, highs of 92. Tonight, 72, storms end early, partly cloudy. And for your next 7 days, again, leading up into 4th of July, we're going to have those scattered showers and storms each day, highs in the mid 90s and plenty of humidity to go around through next week, Angela.
Oh man, 90s are back and here to stay for the 4th of July weekend and for summertime, but still a pretty nice week to